Your Minnesota Vikings are now on a 3-game winning streak, all against NFC North Division opponents. I lost my voice from the live stream yesterday. My apologies. I'm going to power through this and do the best that I can. In fact, in these 3 weeks, the Minnesota Vikings have gotten their first wins against head coach Matt LaFleur of the Green Bay Packers and head coach Matt Nagy of the Chicago Bears. And the main credit should go to, and I know it was infuriating as far as game management, and earlier in the first half, 3rd and 13, you throw a quick outlet, a screen pass to Justin Jefferson, and 2 timeouts, 50 seconds left to end the first half, final possession. You run the ball. They couldn't even guard Justin Jefferson. You could have went up by more than a 7-6 lead to end the first half. But the main credit should go to Mike Zimmer. Mike Zimmer's defense, they got after it, starting with the defensive line. Ifeadi Odenigbo, Hercules Mataafa, DJ Wonnum. Hercules Mataafa, I remember the hype with this dude when he first came onto the team, and it died down. Well, he suffered an injury, so he didn't play at all his rookie year. Then that following preseason, he was super underwhelming, and that was his breakout game yesterday. He was a nonstop disruptor on that defensive line. The entire defensive line took advantage of a very porous Chicago Bears offensive line. Nick Foles, he's a one-read guy, and that is it. And their offense, my God, the Chicago Bears offense, they only scored 6 points. The only reason they ended up with 13, the only reason they got another 7 is because of Cordero Patterson with the kickoff return for a touchdown. Those 6 points that they got was in the first half. They didn't do squat else for the rest of the game. And then we go to linebackers. Oh, okay. Eric Kendricks and Eric Wilson is a real 1-2 punch. Not the 1-2 punch that we pretended like Eric Kendricks and Anthony Barr were when they weren't. It was a one-man wrecking crew with Eric Kendricks. All you Anthony Barr apologists out there that came after me all these years. Anthony Barr, he's so great. And I'm telling you, I'm like, yo, he's not even that good. Eric Wilson, he's the man. He can replace Anthony Barr. In fact, he's an upgrade over Anthony Barr. Oh, Anthony Barr's great. Eric Wilson, he ain't shit. What do you have to say now? Huh? What mental gymnastics are we going to come up? This dude, Eric Wilson, last night on Monday Night Football, 7 tackles, 1 sack, 2 TFLs, 1 pass deflection. He was all over the game. What mental gymnastics are we going to come up with now to talk about why Eric Wilson, he ain't shit? Shut up. He is the real linebacker. I know he's going to be a free agent. We need to keep him, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised because, Anthony Barr, he's my first draft pick. I wouldn't be surprised if they still keep Anthony Barr on his current contract. We got to keep him. He wears the green dot. Shut up. Then when you get to the back end, the secondary, the corners, they did a good job of sticking on their man. In fact, Allen Robinson, to start the game, he was doing pretty well, but then the rest of the game, he was relatively quiet. The safeties, oh my God, Harrison Hitman Smith, he had an interception, and then he had a big spike on 3rd down on Allen Robinson. He was going to come down with that football, and Harrison Hitman Smith said, sit your ass down. Just did one of those like he was a Florida Gator or something like that. Sit your ass down. Anthony Harris, he had a pass deflection. The defense overall was lights out. I knew that the Bears offense was super anemic. I knew that the Bears offense wasn't shit, but I didn't think that they would be this bad what we saw last night. We now go to the Vikings offense. I thought the Vikings offensive line did a hell of a job battling against the Bears defensive front. And Khalil Mack, outside of that interception he had, which wasn't even Kirk Cousins' fault, that was Adam Thielen's fault. You're one of the best receivers in the league. Catch the damn, you get paid to catch the damn ball. Bobbled, gave it right to Khalil Mack. But outside of that interception, Khalil Mack, he's a big name. He didn't do anything. He was relatively quiet for that entire game last night. The Bears defense, there was no resistance. Roquan Smith was really their best player last night. But the Vikings offensive line, they did a hell of a job battling against the Bears defensive front. Adam Thielen, man, we talked about how he should have caught that football. He had 2 touchdowns. When you look at the stat sheet, you look at the box score. Oh, he had 2 touchdowns. He was great. I'll tell you what, In between those two touchdowns, he was god-awful. Kyle Rudolph, he made up for that early turnover that he had in the game, but finished strong for the rest of the game. And the Bears defense, they were keyed in on Dalvin Cook. He averaged 3.2 yards per carry. Kirk Cousins, I thought he made the necessary plays. There were a couple of plays where I just said, come on, man, you're getting paid like $30 million. Can you do something? But there was a savior last night. In fact, this is what killed me, because at the end of the first half, again, the Bears, they couldn't defend this man all game long. I'm like, just throw. In fact, during the live stream, someone mentioned, I can't remember the YouTube username, but they said, give this man the Randy ratio. Just throw this man the fucking ball. And that man is Justin Jefferson. One of the plays leads to the double R play of the game.
At least the flags that have been thrown. Here's 3rd and 11 for Kirk Cousins. Able to complete across the middle. It's Justin Jefferson across midfield, and Jefferson all the way down to the 32-yard line. He's fired up. 53.
Okay, so what's really key here is the play before. Dalvin Cook, he busted off a 36-yard run that got called back due to a holding penalty on Kyle Rudolph. So it's 3rd and 11 now at the Minnesota Vikings' own 14-yard line. And in these situations, 3rd and long, oh, we're going to throw the check down pass and give the ball back to the Vikings defense, and we'll grit it out. We'll live to play another down. And they didn't do that this time. Instead, 3rd and 11, Justin Jefferson, he goes deep, does an inside slant move. Nobody is near him. He turns on the Jets, 54-yard catch and run. The attitude, the tenacity, that changed everything. That is the double R play of the game, because the Bears were up 13-10 at that point. We could have easily gave the ball back to the Bears and be like, oh, and who knows, they would have probably kept momentum. But instead, we scored. We scored a field goal. We tied the ball game 13-all. That is the double R play of the game. And so now, 4 weeks ago, I mean, we were at 1-5, and it's like, okay, what quarterback are we going to take in the first round? But that time is gone. You're 4-5. As it stands right now, the Minnesota Vikings, they are at least in the hunt to possibly make the playoffs. And I know the Chicago Bears, they've had their struggles. They're now on a 4-game losing streak. My God. But the Vikings have always struggled against the Bears. So to get that win last night, Monday Night Football, prime time against Chicago at Soldier Field on the road, that was huge. And the Vikings, they have a favorable 3-game stretch on the way. Up next against Dallas, then Carolina, then the week after that, Jacksonville. Let me know your thoughts. How do you see the outlook for the rest of this season for your Minnesota Vikings? Do you see them suddenly possibly making the playoffs? Do you see them kind of folding in the middle and barely making it? Or are they just gonna crater and just fall flat on their face for the rest of this season? Tweet me your thoughts with the hashtag Modest Take. One of you will be selected at random to win a $25 gift card to Modest Brewing out in the Minneapolis area. They've got some good brewskis there. Go ahead and check them out. We'll make that announcement on Twitter. Let's say we'll do that tomorrow. Today's Tuesday. We'll do it Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. We do this 3 times a week. Mediocre at Best Sports Podcast with Realistic Randy. Check me out on Twitter at realistic_Randy, Facebook at realistic Randy. Next podcast will be tomorrow. We'll see you then.